Fox 26 is your Gulf Coast weather authority, and flooding is happening all over the metro area tonight. In fact, we've learned that a circus tent has collapsed in Angleton. We do not have any reports of injuries at this time.
Harris County has activated its Emergency Operations Center due to rain and the potential for severe weather. More than 21,000 customers are now without power. This is some video of flooding in southwest Houston. That's near 59 and Fondren. And this is just the beginning. Chief Meteorologist Dr. Jim Siebert is live in the Weather Center with more. Dr. Jim?
Yeah, that's exactly right, because the scenario is still in place. It's been going on the last couple of days. Big area low pressure spinning up there into the Rocky Mountains and out into the plains. And that energy has been pulling in this moisture. And well, tonight it's turning into very heavy rainfall and severe storms. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for portions of Harris, Chambers, Galveston, Fort Bend counties until 9:30 tonight, even up to there towards Liberty. This is the Bow Echo that it just has worked its way across. Basically, south of I-10 has been all the problems. We've had reports of golf ball-sized hail, egg-sized hail near Angleton as this storm system pushes off to the east. So from Galveston to High Island to Anahuac back towards Baytown, this is the real problem area at the moment. Now, as I mentioned, this is only half of the issue because we still have more showers coming in behind this. So even though we've seen some of the strongest storms already push through, there's still the possibility of more rain tonight, and the severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 10 o'clock for pretty much most of our area. And there's still a tornado watch in effect for only Jackson and Matagorda counties. So we're watching those storm systems down there to the south. Now, as we look ahead for tonight, there's the severe thunderstorm watch tonight. The orange counties are the ones where we have current warnings, and then the tornado watch is down there to the south. And then the biggest concern is the flash flood watch, which continues until 7 a.m. Saturday. The red areas are where we have current flash flood warnings in effect. And with more rain on the way, this is going to be a bigger concern during the overnight hours and the first part of Saturday. More details coming up in the Fox Red forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dr. Jim, flooding is always a concern when storms like this one hit Houston.
Lightning has been a big threat as well. Chris Stipes is braving the elements tonight. And Chris, what's happening where you are?
Hey, Don. Hey, Katie. We're in southwest Houston. We are on Fondren, right off the Southwest Freeway, Highway 59, about 100 yards. Take a look right here. We've got some severe flooding going on. I just stepped in this water moments ago, and it was up to the bottom of my kneecap, so about 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep. When we arrived on the scene, there were several cars that were stuck in high water, and it reached the number of 8, 9, 10 cars that had stalled out. They drove into the high water, they stalled out, and they're still sitting there. Take a look behind me. Let's go left to right. You've got the white minivan right there. There's another white minivan just to the right. Then there's a mid-size SUV, another car. So right now there's about 5 cars that are stalled out. So what's happening here right now is that cars are coming down Fondren. They're realizing that it's just too high of water to navigate, so they're doing a U-turn right here. They're turning around in parking lots. But it was interesting because when we first arrived on the scene, there was only 1 or 2, like I said, cars that were stalled out. So people drove right by them. They too ended up getting stalled out. It's been a very busy night for the record drivers. At one point, I saw 4 or 5 record trucks out here, and just as quickly as they loaded those cars up and moved them away, there was another car getting stuck. In fact, it's hard to see through the fence right here. There's another car that's stuck right here. It was also interesting to see this fence right here. There was 3 people climbing up it, trying to stay out of the water, because the tricky part is when you're right here, you've got the grassy median and then it drops off into the street. You don't know how deep it falls. So it's definitely a dangerous situation out here right now. You can see the water is going up to maybe mid-level of the cars. And what's interesting is it was raining a heck of a lot harder when we first got out here about 40 minutes ago. So it's just drizzling right now, but it rained hard and fast enough for about an hour that you end up with this. And flooding is not the only issue. There's been a lot of lightning, and that's the subject of my story tonight. Take a look. This is the calm before the storm on the San Leon Peninsula. But you can hardly blame Dolores Drewing if she isn't calm.
I'm scared to death to see it. I don't want to see it come, especially with the lightning. The
last time severe weather struck just a week ago, lightning struck too close for comfort.
All of a sudden, it looked like the sun came in through the window. A giant sun was coming in, a big crack, loud crack.
The blinding bolt took out this tree, the power lines, and all of the electronic equipment inside her house. TVs, computers, the phones, and most of it hasn't worked since.
There's nothing to do. I mean, I read and read, and then you get tired of reading.
Dolores feels fortunate her house didn't catch fire. This one did last week in northwest Harris County. Lightning causes almost $500 million in property damage nationwide every year.
House lit up, really white.
Howard Decker's house was struck by lightning and caught fire just last night in the Woodlands.
Very scary stuff. You don't expect anything like that.
The flames totaled his garage. Recent remodeling inside the house ruined by smoke.
But it was very loud when it hit, very loud.
So when the next severe storm hits, heed this advice from Dr. Jim.
The best advice is to have all of your electronics turned off and to be away from anything that might connect you to those electronics, whether it's through the wiring or through a phone or through even the plumbing in your house.
I actually just got a call from my friend in San Leon. They said the entire peninsula is without power right now. We are back live now here on Fondren. You're taking a look at the cars that are stalled out. It's interesting to see the people's choices in terms of how fast they're going to drive. You can see this car right here, Eckert, if we pan to our left. He's taking his time, nice and slow. Not quite sure how deep the water is. We've seen a number of vehicles just flying through here, in fact, trying to pass people. And then the next thing you see is smoke coming out of their engine. We saw that just before we came on camera. So if you're anywhere here in southwest Houston, because this isn't the only street, I understand there's issues on Bissonnette. So be advised, as they say, turn around, don't drown. And it appears a lot of people are heeding those warnings. But at the same time, there's plenty who are not. It's going to be a busy night for the cleanup crews and the record drivers. This part of southwest Houston typically floods anytime it rains. We get some flooding here. Real quickly, let me tell you, when we were driving along Highway 59 to get out to this location, a lot of people obviously driving with their hazards on. It was a point where the rain was coming down like cats and dogs. You could barely see. The lightning was coming every 5 or 10 seconds, so it was pretty severe. And like I said, right now, in terms of the rain, we are down to a drizzle. We've got another dozen cars and a big limo, a big stretch limo right behind us turning around to the parking lot. So that's the latest here from southwest Houston. For the Gulf Coast Weather Authority, I'm Chris Stipes, Fox 26 News.
All right. Yeah, really a mess out there. Our Randy Wallace is also following this storm system from southwest Houston.
And he joins us live from his location with more on what he's seeing. Randy?
Katie, this is truly a true definition of flash flooding, because that's exactly what we're seeing. Take a look at this car over here. It's like some cars are being able to pass okay, and other cars are sort of hesitant. They're pulling into parking lots. They decide they're not going to try it. And of course, that is the best rule of thumb. If you wonder at all about it, the best thing to do is just try to get to higher ground and don't drive through. Now, any streets that you are aware of that typically flood, you can be guaranteed that they are flooding as we speak. So, of course, if you can, you want to stay home and try to stay out of this mess, because we've seen a lot of drivers pull into parking lots. They're pulling over. They're hesitant about it, and then others are going through. Now, right here, we're at West Indigo and Newcastle. There was a lot more flooding here just a few minutes ago, and it really is a situation of flash flooding. It seems to appear and then it goes away. As Chris says, it was raining really, really hard, about 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. It's died down, but it's one of those storms where it's just, it'll be light and then it'll be heavy again. It'll be light, it'll be heavy again. But again, if you can stay home, you're going to want to stay home. And any streets that you know of in your area that flood, they're going to flood tonight. Reporting for your Gulf Coast Weather Authority in southwest Houston, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.